stories and novels of endless mystery. Who is Alexander the Great? How did he rule Greece? How did he achieve his dream of making the world one homeland? What is his relationship with the Qarnayn? Where is his grave located? What is the mystery of his death? You can find all this and more on the Historian channel. Don't forget to press the like button, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. I am Alexander III of Macedon, known by many other names, most notably Alexander the Great and Alexander the Qarnayn. I was born in the city of Pella around the year 356 BC, and I studied under the famous philosopher and scientist Aristotle until I was 16. My legacy includes the cultural mixing created by my conquests. I was able to mix Greek Hellenic culture with the various Eastern cultures of the peoples that submitted to me. I also founded more than 20 cities bearing my name in different parts of my empire. The most prominent and famous of which is the city of Alexandria in Egypt. The establishment of numerous Greek colonies throughout the country led to the creation of a new Hellenistic civilization whose aspects remained prominent in the traditions of the Byzantine Empire until the middle of the 15th century. You became a prominent figure in Greek and world mythology, stories, and history, until you took the place of Achilles, and became the standard by which military leaders determined the success or failure of their careers. Military schools around the world still teach my methods and tactics to this day. By my 30th year, I had established one of the largest and greatest empires the ancient world had ever known, extending from the coasts of the Ionian Sea in the west to the Himalayas in the east. I was never defeated in any battle I ever fought, making me one of the most successful military leaders in their career. I succeeded my father, Philip II of Macedon, the One-Eyed One, on the throne of the country in 336 BC, after he was assassinated. From my father, I inherited a kingdom with a solid foundation and a strong army with veteran soldiers. I was given the right to command the armies of all Greece, so I took advantage of that to achieve my father's expansionist goals. In the year 334 BC, I launched a campaign against Persia. I was able to defeat the Persians and expel them from Asia Minor, and then proceeded to seize their possessions, one after the other in a series of campaigns. The military lasted 10 years, during which it was able to break the Persian army and destroy the military power of the Achaemenid Persian Empire in several decisive incidents, most notably the battles of Issus and Gaugamela. Ultimately, I overthrew the Persian Shah Darius III, and conquered the entire territory of his empire, so that the land subject to me extended from the Adriatic Sea in the west to the Indus River in the east. I was seeking to reach the end of the world and the great outer sea, so I invaded India in 326 BC in an attempt to discover the way to that sea, but I was forced to return at the urging of the soldiers' leaders and because of the army's mutiny. I died in the city of Babylon in the year 323 BC, before I began several new military campaigns. During Alexander the Great's invasion of Egypt, he ordered the establishment of the city of Alexandria as a capital bearing his name and a center for spreading Greek culture. Alexandria was described with its streets and walls, as the ancient wall extended from the chain tower of Ras Lokias to the small mosque in Al-Hadra, in a distance exceeding 3 kilometers in length. According to what the authors mentioned about the shape of the Alexandria, it was in the form of a Macedonian coat. The color of this coat is the part located between the Poseidon temple of Poseidon and the chained head of Lokias. In ancient Alexandria, as a result of excavation work, 11 main paved streets ran across it widthwise, and 7 paved streets ran along it. The Canopic Street, now known as Bob Shark Street, was in the middle of these longitudinal streets. Excavations were conducted at several points, one of which was the Church of St. Athanasius, which at one time became the Ulateran Mosque. The quantity of column bases, statue bases, and column pieces, as well as the remains of great buildings that were discovered and are still being discovered by excavations on both sides of this street and along it, indicate to us the richness and luxury of this neighborhood and the beauty of the street, and lead us to believe that rows of columns and vaults adorned that street that overlooked it. It has several archaeological buildings. Pharos Island, which is now part of modern Alexandria, was in the past completely separate from the land of the African continent and from the location of the ancient city of Alexandria. The island extended off the coast from the eastern port to its tip to the west, where the modern lighthouse was built during the reign of Muhammad Ali. At the tip of the island to the east, there is a rock on which the ancient lighthouse of Alexandria was built, and it was surrounded by water on all sides. Some ancient writers believe that the city of Alexandria was divided into 5 districts. 1. The eastern section. It was separated from the rest of the city by swamps or jungles, and it was an independent neighborhood crossed by the Canopic Street and including the racetrack too. The Proxium district. It included the area between the sea and while located on the Canopic Street between Heptastid Square and the central square overlooked by the gymnastics stadium, and this was the palace's district. 3. Com el Dica. The 2 hills located between this hill and the canal, which together form one plateau. This neighborhood includes the gymnastics stadium and the Soma area. 4. Museum district, the smallest neighborhood, located between the 2nd and 3rd subterranean canals. It contains the museum and Emar Mosque on the northwestern corner. 5. Rakiat's neighborhood. It was separated from the city by the small lane that can be seen between the Serapeum Hill and the 2 highlands that constitute the nucleus of the museum district. This neighborhood includes the Serapeum, the 1,000-column mosque, and the Great Mosque. Necropolis, or the City of the Dead, was adjacent to the city of Alexandria from the southwestern side, and it was the only suburb adjacent to it, separated from it only by surrounding walls. It extended between the sea and Lake Mariout, and was designated for cemeteries, as proven by the excavations conducted successively and the burial vaults now known as Cleopatra's Baths. These catacombs can be seen at the water's edge, 3.5 kilometers from the column called the Mast Column, and approximately 3 kilometers from the modern lighthouse created by Muhammad Ali. These catacombs were part of the necropolis itself, which must have extended along the land of Al-Khabari, including Olmecs, and Al-Khabari was named after the city of tombs. In the end, Alexandria was not like other cities that were born small and grew with time. Rather, from its inception, it was portrayed as a large city. Its walls were built. Its neighborhoods and streets were drawn unplanned from the beginning. That is, Alexandria did not develop gradually like other cities, but rather from the very beginning it grew and expanded with its great ambitions.